under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Education.
And I don't believe that changing leadership back to Dr. Stegeman is going to be one that is going to de-escalate any of the situations. I think that the fact that he did not do a very good job of reading the crowd, he didn't do a very good job of the basics of running a meeting. I will not be able to support this, and I hope that the board members that are sitting here that were here when he was president really think back on what the meetings looked like then and what they look like now.
Board president, number one, you know, there have been crazy things. The death of a board member is just absolutely something that does not happen often and has not happened in this district, I believe, in 60 or 70 years. Okay, so there were some things that happened that were not out of, or that were out of the ordinary. As board president, you know, I need someone who's going to demonstrate leadership styles that are good and that are good for this district. Our district goals you don't support. How can you be the board president and not support our district goals? I try to build consensus, and I came with a 4-1 vote, and you decided not to support that. Unless you plan on revising the district goals, I don't know how, as board president, you can lead the goals of the district that you do not support. The second thing is the board member replacement process. You were willing to cost this district $500,000 to $1 million, and that is on record. You and Mr. Hicks actually were willing to go down that path. You had made statements to me that I did not compromise, when in fact I did compromise. And to be honest with you, Dr. Sugiyama, you'd probably not be in the seat if I had not compromised. The other thing is that in terms of the special meetings, which I have been criticized by my fellow board members, Dr. Stegman, you called for a special meeting in August, and I really think that was the catalyst that pushed this board to, transition to leadership. You wanted to reappoint a student member, and I strongly believe as an individual board member, that was your attempt to push that student off. And I know from speaking to a parent from UHS that at that same time that you scheduled that special meeting, you also asked a teacher at UHS to have a student apply so that they could also be a part of that committee when we were not accepting applications. As board president, if you're willing to steep to that level of micromanagement, of asking or trying to push students off a committee, that doesn't show real leadership. And the other thing is, when I called for a special meeting, it was number one, we were a divided board. We needed more time on this issue, and that was apparent through what we went through. And I think that the death of a board member and replacement rises to the level of emergency. I think that and also, and I hope this never happens, but if our superintendent were to pass or resign or anything like that, that would also be something that a board president should call for a special meeting. So I don't regret that decision at all. And, at this point, I cannot support this. Board members.
Ms. Grijalva?
No.
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Dr. Stegeman?
Yes.
Dr. Sugiyama?
Yes.
Pardon. Mr. Cuevas?
No. The item passes.
Mr. Hicks has been on the board for a year without having a management leadership position. I think we often try to give members of the board an early chance to serve in the leadership, often the clerk position, and I nominate Mr. Hicks to serve as the clerk for this year.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? Go ahead and call a roll call vote.
Ms. Grijalva?
No.
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Dr. Stegeman?
Yes.
Dr. Sugiyama?
Yes.